Hello and welcome back to Let's Talk Movies. If you are new here, please like and subscribe for future content. We're going to be diving into the world of television today, mostly because obviously Jussie Smollett is currently in the news for having a racial attack against him, and we're going to be giving out what is actually turning out to be a storyline of its own, which would have, well, it wouldn't be out of place in the TV series Empire, for where Jussie Smollett is actually famous for. So, back in late January, Jussie Smollett was the victim of a hate crime, where two men who supposedly beat him up, poured bleach over him, and hung a noose down his neck, ready to throw him over a tree and hang him. Right, so there's that part first there, which is absolutely horrible thing to happen to anyone. It's disgusting, it's like, what the hell is wrong with people? Why would they do this? Anyway, this is where it gets really, really juicy in this whole thing. Jussie Smollett went on Good Morning America, I believe it was, and he was saying, and he also told the police that it was two white men, and they were supposedly wearing MAGA hats, so obviously the Make America Great Again hat, which is Trump's slogan, and they started shouting and screaming at Jussie Smollett racial and homophobic taunts, and saying, Make America Great Again and all this bullshit. So again, that there is, it's absolutely disgusting. It's absolutely horrible. But this is where the best thing comes into it. So, the police arrested two men into the investigation. And these two men, they were going to be booked for battery, and they also have ties to the Empire cast and crew. So, out of all of this first, Jussie Smollett said that they were two white guys. But in fact, they were actually two brothers from Nigeria. I'm just going to put a picture of them up now. There we go. And yeah, they look really white to me, Jussie. And, they have actually been confirmed by people on the Empire set that they are absolutely anti-Trump, and Abel, the one on the left, or the right, if you're, whichever way you're going to be looking at it, they are in fact pro-LGBT, so they're all for the gay community and everything. And so there's number one in Jussie's evidence, if you want to call it that. So first of all, they're meant to be white, but not, they're actually in fact black. We've got the pro-Trump, which they've actually come out and said they are anti-Trump. And secondly, there was they were doing gay bashing and all this kind of stuff, which they've come out and said no. So these two were the potential suspects after the Chicago police did call them potential suspects as opposed to persons of interest. Their home was raided, and they seized a long list of potential evidence. There was bleach and God knows what else they were found. So obviously, their nicknames are Ola and Abel. The police picked them up on Wednesday night at O'Hara Airport, which is kind of funny. Were they off on holiday somewhere, going back home to see family? You don't know. Anyway, obviously the Chicago law enforcement, they did then say the next step may be a lineup in which Jussie will have to identify the culprits. This also raises the potential problem because, as it was first reported, Jussie initially said his attackers were white and yelled MAGA country. Obviously, the two brothers from Nigeria, they don't actually fit that profile, and it's kind of funny because when Jussie took the police to where the actual scene of the crime happened, he pointed to a very obscure camera that was literally out of the way, and he said, "Oh, there's a camera over there that must have got them," which is a little bit strange. The Chicago police have actually said they were a little bit unnerved, because why would Jussie know where that camera was? But it turned out the camera was actually facing the other way, so that's a little bit funny. And if these two guys, obviously, they're all connected, and because Ola played a prison inmate on season 2 of Empire, and Jussie, he is friends with these people because he actually follows their joint Instagram account. And going from this little thing, this is where it comes really funny now, because Jussie Smollett has actually hired himself a high-class defense lawyer. As a victim of a hate crime, you wouldn't be lawyering up with a defense attorney. That's one of the big eye-openers straight away. But obviously, he has turned from a presumed victim to a suspect in the criminal investigation into the alleged racist, homophobic attack, and sources say there is mounting evidence the two brothers who were arrested, they were acting at Jussie's behest, and they were reportedly paid by Jussie to actually do this. If that is the case, and that Jussie did pay him to make this hate crime, then Jussie needs to be kicked out of the business, because that is absolutely disgusting, because it's almost inciting a race war. It's almost like that's what he wanted to do, It's, he said, oh, it was white guys, straight away. So, but obviously the two people who were arrested, they're nothing, they don't even fit the profile that Jussie first said. It's just weird, because obviously, regarding from TMZ, our sources say the brothers, both of whom worked on the Empire set, completely cooperated with Chicago police during the interrogation of the last couple of days. To me, that is basically saying, that they were obviously going to be charged with battery, they could have been done for a race crime and all this kind of shit. And they probably went, you know what? I'm not going to jail for Jussie. No fucking way. He paid us, and I think they just went to town. They just literally came clean and went, no, he paid us. He asked us to do this. He wanted us to do this. He needed us to do this. And obviously, going back to TMZ, one law enforcement source has told TMZ at least one of the brothers turned over his phone, and there is a call between him and Jussie in the vicinity of the attack before it happened. Which is another really good thing, because there's actually CCTV supposedly of Jussie on his phone just before this happened. So he could be ringing him or telling him where he's going to be, and this is what's going to happen. Obviously CNN, they are reporting the brothers purchased what looks like the rope Jussie had around his neck at a Chicago Ace Hardware store. CNN is also citing law enforcement sources saying Jussie paid the brothers to orchestrate the phony assault. And if that is the case, I know that the FBI have supposedly been in touch with this, and they're going to look into it. And that's some serious shit, man. If the FBI are involved, then it's like shit. No wonder Jussie's gone and got a high-profile defense attorney. But so just going to read this last part now from TMZ. Various sources in the Chicago PD have told TMZ almost from the beginning there was wide sentiment Jussie's... you know what? It's Jussie, but it's Jussie, man. It's just, come on. Why you gotta be fucking stupid named? That his version of events were false, despite the party line that he was the victim of a crime. As we told you, the Nigerian brothers never fitted the profile of Jussie's alleged attackers, even when they were arrested for battery. Not only are they not white, which contradicts Smollett's claims from the beginning, but Empire cast and crew sources tell us they're very close to Jussie. They're pro-LGBTQ and anti-Trump as well. That's one of the best things, and I think that's glorious, what that says right by there. Empire cast and crew tell us they're very close to Jussie. I think that's glorious. Because these Empire people, the ones who they've spoken with, for all we know, they may think, like, oh, why would friends beat up someone? Or why is this happening? Or why is that happening? I really do think that these people now, if it turns out to be true that Jussie Smollett actually planned the attack, they're no longer going to be his friends, because they're going to be there thinking they could be standing by their friend like, oh, this is terrible, he's been hurt, and all of a sudden it's going to be like, I defended you. I told people, that they were talking bullshit when they said that you planned all this. We're meant to be friends. I trusted you. I stuck up for you. I put my neck out on the line for you. So it'd be really interesting to see as well what the key information that these the brothers have given the cops. So, but Gloria Schmidt, which is the brothers' lawyers, they have said her clients were released based on the key info they gave the police, and they have a story to tell when the time is right. I just love that line right by there. Their lawyer has said they have a story to tell, but they're going to do it when the time is right. Obviously, just for me and the way I'm thinking about that is, this was a race war waiting to happen, and Jussie Smollett was trying to fabricate one, and he was trying to instigate a race war in Chicago, which obviously black people in Chicago, there's been a whole issue with it. Obviously the Black Lives Matter thing going on, and if this turns out to be false, Jussie Smollett, he will be going to prison. He will be blacklisted from America, from Hollywood and all this. No one will want to work with him, and he would have potentially ruined his life, because he's going to have to pay all the money to the defense lawyers, and to just basically to try and get his ass in the clear. To be honest with you, I hope it's not true. I hope he was genuinely attacked, because if he wasn't, and he did in fact fabricate this entire scenario, then to me he's mentally disturbed. There's no way that's not right. You shouldn't go around blaming white people, but then you have two of your friends who are black get arrested for it, and it's like nothing makes sense in the entire scenario. Anyway, please like and subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and we'll see you guys soon.